we are talking about Arlecchino. Arlecchino? Arlecchino?
Ali.
Yes. Arlecchino. So again, another servant. This servant is quite often paired with Columbina, so we'll talk about that dynamic in a moment. So if we think about Arlecchino as being really physical, so a really, really physical character, very quick, light on the feet, also a very comical character. So usually like the comedic relief and fast, does lots of dangerous tricks, kind of an acrobat. So yes, very, very physical theatre, this one. We talk about...
Sorry, just everything he does is very big and demands attention.
Yes.
You called? Yes, sorry, perfect for me.
Yes, perfect. Very common stance, so we start with his stance. Much like Columbino, she,
Can be either. Columbina or Columbina.
Oh, okay, cool. So instead of obviously evenly spaced weight on the feet, we have we flex the bottom of the foot. So again, to bow as a servant character, but also to help that spring in the step, to be fast, moving continuously, ready for action. So talk about gestures in terms of extending the fingertips, each digit having a separate articulation. So very showy in the fingertips. And again, that kind of adds to the polished aspect of all of the tricks as well, to finish those tricks off. Distractions, everything.
I'll demonstrate one in a moment.
Which Miss Metcalfe will demonstrate, because I'm wearing a dress this week.
So, do you like how it looks like I know exactly what's about to transpire? I don't. One of Arlecchino's famous lazzis is that he somersaults or does some form of acrobatics whenever he has to pick something up, or is moving to a lower level, or basically he's an acrobat. He's the acrobat of Commedia dell'arte. So a common somersault, safely, put pillows around your house if you need to, but a common somersault in the midst of picking something up. I'm not going to try and pick something up because doing the somersault's going to be hard enough for me. But it could be a simple, it's going to be so good. It just doesn't look like, oh, it's going to go very badly. Yes, it could.
I got you.
Earlier, Miss Dundon said, how long's been since you've done a somersault? And I said, I do not know. So, you might hear some bones.
So you're hearing it, seeing it here first.
Woo! So it's just, you know how to do a somersault.
I don't know why we're building it up so much.
Because it's just but as simple as he might come running in, he might even barrel in if he's called by his master to Pantalone, there's a coin there. Pantalone could easily just bend down and pick it up, but why do that when you've got a servant? Mm-hmm. So he might say, Arlecchino, I need you to come and pick this coin up. And he might stand there, and out of nowhere, Arlecchino comes rolling in, picks it up, jumps it, runs off with the coin. Alright? Something as simple as that.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Whoa. Swear, we're going to feel it in about an hour though. So, all for the coin. All for Pantalone's coin. So as simple as coming through in a really quick succession to pick it up, and he might pick it up, and then Pantalone says, now give it to me, and he might, and that becomes part of the lazzi of like fighting over the coin. He might get pushed into a somersault out. So there's a variety of things you can do, but it's always acrobatic.
Yeah, definitely. Excellent. And I think now's a really good time, like from that, to talk about the relationship with Columbino.
Oh yeah.
So in terms of Columbino being very smart. So we think about Arlecchino kind of being the opposite. So they're commonly paired well together because Columbino is the brains behind all of these operations or all of these different, I guess, lazzis.
As you said earlier, when we were talking, she's 2 steps ahead of him. She knows when he's going to make a mistake.
Yes.
She's prepared for that.
Yeah, and she's, even goes, as you were saying, pre-plans Arlecchino making those mistakes as though it was part of the plan all along.
You've got something in a bottle, you don't want to break the bottle, so you go, can you just hold that for me for a second? You turn around and do something, knowing full well he's clumsy, he's going to break the bottle. And then go, oh, you idiot, that's okay, look what we have here.
Yes, very smart. So we might have Columbino as the, possibly like the distraction because she's able to hold her own, is very calculated in her movements as she walks and she tries to manipulate the master, whereas Arlecchino can, swoop in with all of those fancy acrobatics and actually, complete the task.
That's right. And the other way around as well, they can do it, they can play off each other. So she could have him being the distraction by breaking things while she actually does something. So they work really well together because they are polar opposites in how they behave. And they can even be in love from time to time through some of the scenarios, and they sort of work together in that way. The other thing that Arlecchino does often do is he misuses props, or he uses them for anything that they're not meant to be used for. Perfect example would be the chef calling for a pot, needing desperately to cook something, and Arlecchino not being able to find something, being yelled at constantly and taking a bedpan. You know, things like that that cause later mayhem, or for him to be hit over the head with a bedpan, that sort of thing. So anything that he can misuse as a prop often adds to the comedy.
And I think it's really well set up in terms of commedia dell'arte, like, you know, the lazzis of the play that they have, in terms of bringing in all of those different objects and those props to then later, you know, have that you know, servant character or that comedic character be injured by that in some way.
That's right.